Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. This is Matt with Coyote Creek Archery. We've got another new bow to talk to you about today. This is the CP30 from Bowtech, new for 2023, and this is a bow that I am very excited about because I loved the CP28. I thought that was a great bow. Still is a great bow. It's still an offering you can get from your local Bowtech dealer, so if that's something you're interested in, be sure you go check that out. But they took the same platform and just stretched it out 2 inches. And for me, it fits right in for what I'm looking for a whitetail hunting bow, turkey bow, something like that. You can see by these cams, to me, it looks like it's the same cam that they had on the CP28. Very smooth draw. You kind of know what to expect if you've shot that bow before. Just a little bit longer axle to axle, which is going to give you just a little bit more forgiveness in the shot. Still short by bow standards, being a 30-inch axle to axle bow, but I like that. I like the compactness of it, and for me, with a 28-inch draw length, it fits right there what I like to have in a bow. So taking a look at the specs for this bow, the Bowtech CP30, we have a 30-inch axle to axle. Brace height is a nice forgiving 6 3/4 inch. Your draw length adjusts from 25 inches up to 30.5 inches. Comes in peak weights of 50, 60, and 70 pounds. Physical weight is 4.5 pounds and has an advertised speed rating of up to 331 feet per second. So it's not a speed bow by any means. Last year Bowtech came out with the SR350, which is their speed bow, which still had a really nice draw cycle, but was putting up nice speeds with that 6-inch brace height and a little bit more aggressive cam. They also had the CP28, which was designed for someone hunting out of tree stands and ground blinds and looking for something a little bit more compact. And I thought it was a great bow for that, and I really, really liked the CP28. And now we've got the CP30, so we're just a little bit longer. Same technology that we see in Bowtech year to year. We have our deadlock cam system as always. Great tuning system where you can move those cams a little bit at a time. And something that I really appreciated when I was tuning my Bowtech solution was I would go out to 30 yards and I would shoot a broadhead, and then I would shoot a bare shaft. And it's hard to find a day here in western Kansas when the wind isn't blowing, but I found a calm day where I could do that. And my bare shaft tails were just a little bit to the right. Up and down was good, but they were just a little bit to the right out at 30 yards. I put just about 1/8 of a turn into that deadlock, and it brought them right over where they needed to be. My bare shafts were hitting right there where the broadheads were, and I knew that everything would be tuned that way. And broadheads and field points were tuned and hitting great, so I was really, really pleased to be able to have that system. Again, you have the flip disc modules where you can go between comfort and performance. You're going to gain some speed on performance. Your draw cycle is going to change just a little bit, so it really is a personal preference on what you want with that. They have a different looking draw stop on here this year. It's kind of a blue color. It's a little bit more dense, and so we'll see what that does. And then one thing I noticed that they changed on the cam here is this cable would wrap around and kind of make an S shape, and it was a place where the serving would separate, and it was just kind of a wear spot for the cables. And you can see now they've rerouted that where it wraps around the axle and then it comes down kind of on a bridge. I don't know if you can see that or not on this cam. There's kind of a bridge here now. Yeah, right here where it comes down, and that cable wraps right around there. So hopefully that takes care of that as far as wearing out the serving on those ends of those cables, because that was really the only issue that I ever noticed on the previous model bows, where it would make that kind of a severe S, and that serving would always kind of start to separate there. So it looks like they did something good for that. We still have our lockable limb pockets, orbital dampeners, and just like up on the CP28, they've set those inside the riser now. They're not setting outside where it might snag and catch and pull off. And getting it more towards the center of the bow is going to help with the balance and feel of the bow as well. We've got that same clutch grip that I really like. Just a nice cylinder grip, and squared off on the back side. We have our double burger holes like we've always had, our option to mount your sight in 2 different locations, whether you want to raise it up or lower it, move it forward or move it backwards. We've got holes for mounting a 2-piece quiver if that's something that you're interested in. and just a great bow. And as always, these bows balance is incredible. The balance on these Bowtech bows is better than any bow that I've found. It's a wide platform with these wider split limbs, and but that bow just sits right there. So something I really like. This is a bow I think that I'm very interested in for myself, for a hunting bow. I'm not looking for super speed. I'm just looking for something that's comfortable and easy to draw. Especially like this morning. I hunted this morning and it was about 10 degrees and the wind was blowing about 12 mile an hour out of the northwest. So my wind chill was probably pretty close to zero. And you sit there for a couple hours, it gets a little bit tough to draw that bow. So you appreciate a smoother draw. And in a situation like that, you'd much rather give up a few feet per second for a little bit easier draw cycle. Partly why I went down to 60 pounds as well. But that's enough talk. Let's take a few shots with this bow and we'll go through the draw cycle on the shot. And I'll tell you what that looks like to me. Okay, so I've got the Bowtech CP30, new for 2023 here. I did forget to mention that it does come with the clutch grip still, is what they've had for the last several years. You have the option to change these out with different colors, and there's also another one that has a little bit more of a high wrist. It changes the angle of that. I really like the stock grip on these. It's slim and a little bit squared off and just fits really nice for me. Let's take a few shots with this bow, and I'll go take you through the draw cycle. You can see by the shape of these cams, it's going to be a very smooth draw cycle, but let me show you what it feels like to me. Very nice, very smooth, and very easy. If I let up here, really easy to let off of the shot too. It's not like I have to walk it over a bit of a hump or anything like that. So very nice draw cycle, very smooth. Going to be real similar to what you had on the Solution SS. And just a nice smooth draw cycle. I'm guessing it's not going to be a super fast bow, but we'll find out here in just a little bit as we shoot it through the chronograph. Draw is very nice, and again, real easy to walk that arrow forward. So for me, that's something I really like in a hunting bow. Let's take a shot and see what we feel with the shot. Very dead. Maybe just a little bit of vibration is all that I can feel, and it's not there for very long. If it's there, I mean, it's less than a second. It's just quick and it's gone, and it's very light. So very dead in the hand. Imagine once you get, and that's just bare bow, okay? Once I get a sight, and if I get a stabilizer and even a quiver on here, you're not going to feel anything at all. So very impressed by that. It's just a bow that I really like, and I think is going to fit a lot of hunters. Let's see what we get for speeds here. We'll shoot it through the chronograph a few times. Okay, so I'm on comfort. I am 28-inch draw length, and we are about 60 and a half pounds is what I had this measured at. I'm shooting the same old Gold Tip Hunter XT in a 300 spine with 100 grain field point, so right at 411. Total grains on my arrow weight. So just kind of an average basic hunting setup that most guys would be shooting. 28-inch draw and right around 60 pounds. Let's see what type of speed we're getting out of this. Draw is very nice. .259, not too bad. Let's shoot it again. Okay, shot number 2 on comfort with the CP30. Got a duplicate 259 again. We'll shoot one more time. Okay, shot number 3 on comfort. .258, so very consistent, right around that 258, 259, which for as amazing as that draw cycle is, and very little hand shot, the speeds are right there where I would want them to be for a hunting bow. With my setup, I would have no problem at all with those speeds. I know some of you are really into the speed thing, and maybe that's not what you're after. We'll flip this over to performance and see what the draw cycle is like and see what we gain on our speeds. But for me, perfect, right where I want to be. Okay, I've got these modules flipped over to performance. You can see that there on the CP30, and we'll see what the draw cycle feels like on this. You know, I shot the CP28 on performance, so I kind of have an idea of what it might feel like, but let's see. Yep, kind of very similar. So, not a bad draw cycle. It just gets stiffer as it kind of builds up, and then it gets to that wall, and then there's kind of a quick drop into a valley. And then that valley is a little bit shorter, so as far as letting it up, it's going to want to jump just a little bit back there. So it's going to keep you honest and pulling through the shot, which isn't a bad thing. It's not a bad draw cycle at all, but it's not smooth like the comfort setting will be. So it's going to build up and then kind of drop off into that valley. And you can kind of see that from what I showed you there on the video. But let's take a shot and see what we get there. Yep, just a little dump there at the back end. Yeah, so you can see there at the back end, I pulled a little quicker that time. Just a little bit of a dump. Very, very common with the performance setting on Bowtech. When you flip over the mods, it feels just like what you would notice on a performance setting, and it's really not bad if you're looking for a little bit more speed. Let's see what we get as far as our speeds in the chronograph on performance. All right, first arrow through the chronograph. This is the CP30 set on performance, 28-inch draw, just a little bit over 60 pounds, and I'm shooting a 411 grain arrow. Let's see what we get. .268, not too bad. All right, shot number 2 on performance. .268 again. All right, our third and final shot on performance with the CP30. Same thing, 268 3 times in a row. So 268, we were about 258 before, so we gained right at 10 feet per second, which is a pretty good increase. If you like the draw cycle, it's not bad. I could see myself shooting it there. I'm more of a comfort guy. Like I've said, I get this time of year when it gets colder, and I want a nice, smooth, easy drawing bow, and I gladly give up those 10 feet per second for that. But it's really not bad at all. So this is a bow that has caught my eye for this year, CP30 from Bowtech. I just think it's an ideal whitetail rig, and I can't say for sure. Hopefully I get the opportunity and it works out, but this is kind of what I want to be hunting with in 2023. Not going to work out for the rest of the season. Still haven't shot a deer yet, by the way. I'm trying, but it's been a tough year. But hopefully we can still get it done. But this bow right here is what I'm looking at for 2023. Hopefully I can get into one of these. Hopefully it might be something that will work out for you as well. Get to your Bowtech dealer, try it out, shoot it for yourself, and see what you think. It's a great bow. If you're nearby, obviously stop in here at Coyote Creek Archery. I'd love to help you out. That's really what I like doing, is just helping people, get them interested in archery, get them set up correctly so that they can be successful. And you always have a lot more fun when things are set up right, and you can have some success. So stop in here and give them a try, see what you think for yourself. If you ever have any questions, check out the website, coyotecreekarchery.com. You're free to shoot me a text or give me a call, send me an email. You can always leave comments down below here, and I'd love to help you out. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this video was some help to you today.